Wakes up deep in space, no memory, no crew, and no idea why he's there. A story about a man, adventure type films with science fiction elements and action sequences like Interstellar or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy to The Martian or any science fiction film. One of the biggest flaws in a lot of these movies is it kind of gets lost in its own self, where the plot can become so overly complicated, hard to follow, too much dialogue, not enough exposition explaining what's happening in the film. This movie does not do that. The reason why this movie is successful because it keeps the science on an even playing field so the audience can understand what's happening. Other science fiction films that we've seen in the past, they get lost in the science. They try to make the characters seem more smarter than they actually are. Ryan Gosling's character throughout the entire film is a little aloof. He's a fish out of water. He doesn't know what's happening, which allows you to kind of connect to the story and understand the substance of what the directors and the writers are trying to tell you. And I think that's what I like the most about the movie. It keeps it at a ground level. It doesn't get lost in its own self. The movie's themes are also brilliantly chosen. This is a movie about survival, friendship, and choosing life. All the themes that we traditionally see in a lot of these sort of big budget space adventure type films. But this movie blends all of its genres and together beautifully. We get to see the core of the film is the friendship between one of the characters, Rocky, who is an alien from another planet, a different species, and Ryan Gosling, who plays Highland Grace, who's an astronaut. And they both have to come together and work, and they build a friendship that is believable, heartwarming, and comedically funny throughout the entire film. They have great chemistry throughout the entire movie, and I think that's an aspect of the movie that works so well. You get this sort of friendship that you are bonded. You see the bond on screen between these two people, and you follow their journey throughout the entire film. It's a really beautiful, heartwarming story about how friendship can be made anywhere in the universe, not just on Earth. The comedic tone is another thing I really thought was an important part of the film. Remember, this film was directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. The original the directors of 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, they also were originally attached to that solo film that they were unfortunately fired from. So this was kind of their second opportunity to direct a space film. And comedically, the movie works. There are a lot of jokes thrown at you during the movie between Ryan Gosling, he's a very funny actor throughout his entire career, from The Nice Guys and Crazy Stupid Love. So we know he can be funny. The film has a great ensemble as well. You got great supporting actors throughout the entire film. You get a balance between this Ryan Gosling, Highland Grace in space, and then you have sort of the ground, the Earth storyline where it kind of goes back and forward. It's not a linear story. It flashbacks, flash forwards, and it's done very well. The editing makes you sort of connect to the story, and it blends the narrative very well. I think Lord and Miller was able to create that science fiction comedy slash horror slash action film all into one, and they got to make the space adventure film that they've always wanted to make. There are certain criticisms I do have of the film. Some of the government official slash military aspect of the movie, where it is a subplot in the movie, but they don't really dive deep into who they work for and what's their sort of purpose in the movie. You have Sandra Huller, who plays a government official. We don't know what her job is. We don't know why she's there. We know she is in a powerful position and kind of does whatever she wants. You do see the full military aspect. They have some great sequences on an aircraft carrier, and they have some other government officials that Grace gets to work with throughout the entire movie. But now they're just kind of there for exposition and help. They're just to move the story forward. It would have been cool to see more of a backstory on why they were there, and sort of a bigger picture of the story and how this sort of what's going on in space, how is it affecting the rest of the world and the rest of the people all around Grace. We don't get to see much of that. Another aspect of the movie is that it's a little long. It's 2 hours and 36 minutes, and it does feel that length. It does, I would like to see it maybe like 10 minutes shorter. There are certain scenes you don't necessarily need that kind of drag out throughout the entire film. There's a scene where they're singing karaoke at a bar. I don't think you really needed that. I think they were trying to humanize the character, but I thought it was a little unnecessary. But overall, those are little nitpicks. Overall, the movie really worked for me. I thought It kept you at the edge of your seat throughout the entire film. And kept you engaged in the story. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm giving this a 9.3 out of 10. One of the best films I've seen of the year so far. If you like this film review, please leave a like and comment and subscribe down below. Thank you.